Hi, I'm Scott Olson, co-founder of LTCshop.com and author of Long-Term Care Insurance Now. In this episode, I'll talk about what the New York Times article on long-term care insurance got very wrong. The article states that a Florida man bought a policy through his employer and paid monthly premiums for 27 years, beginning in 1993. Over time, he paid $120,000 toward the policy. I'm quoting the article. It then states that over 3 years, the policy paid about $90,000 of benefits. Well, this is impossible. The policyholder, they say, paid $120,000 in premiums, could not have paid $120,000 in premiums. Here's how I know. A typical policy bought in the early 1990s had an $80 per day benefit amount. Most of the policies purchased then did not have any inflation protection, especially if the policy was purchased through an employer. Now that explains why the policyholder in this article received only about $90,000 of benefits over a 3-year period. If you take $80 a day times 365 days a year times 3 years, well, that's $87,600 in benefits, about $90,000. Now, the article isn't clear, but he purchased the policy somewhere between the ages of 61 and 64. Now, today's policies are priced a lot higher than policies sold in the 1990s. If a male age 64 purchased a policy like that today, it would cost about $150 per month. The article wants us to believe that he paid about $370 per month for a policy that today would cost only $150 per month. That's impossible. Clearly, a mistake was made in the calculations. Now, I don't blame the writers of this article for making this mistake. They would not know how much a policy would have cost 27 years ago. However, I have seen a similar mistake made by Kaiser Health News in the past. The woman who was the subject of that article purchased her policy in California in 1999 and had a big rate increase. It doubled her premium. However, the article stated that her premium nearly quadrupled. There's a big difference between a 100% rate increase and a 300% rate increase. The article's writer miscalculated the premium increase because the policyholder paid her premium every quarter, but the writer thought it was a monthly premium. I directly contacted the woman who was quoted in the article, and she confirmed that her premium was quarterly and not monthly, and that the premium increase was misstated. I also notified the writer of that article a few times about this error. She said she would look into it. To my knowledge, Kaiser Health News never published a correction. This New York Times article is not the first time when the amount someone paid for long-term care insurance was grossly misquoted. In the next episode of my in-depth analysis of the 2023 New York Times article on long-term care insurance, I'll discuss what the Times is implying that is very wrong. Thanks.